Okay, everybody, this is Texas Danny coming to you from North Central Texas in the Pizza Parlor. Today's date is Friday. It's June the 10th, 2022, and it's about 6:30 p.m. in the evening here. Uh, Going to go over some things real quick on the tube, kind of do some pointing out of the areas that are interesting that are going on right now in quantum developments and changes. This is about 30 miles northwest of Puerto Penasco, and this is a crucial area to our developments, to our eastward movements of the California Gulf, the Gulf of California, the continuing widening of the Gulf of California, the transformations to Baja California, and especially the changes, especially the changes to the west coast of Mexico, which are profound and distinct. They're very effective. They are being changed very dramatically here on the west coast of Mexico. And again, the Gulf of California is widening. I did a video just the other day about the change of the name to the Sonny Bono in the Salton Sea. This just showed up. Well, let's see if it's going to show up, period. It was on there yesterday. Yes, the Sonny Bono Salton Sea National Wildlife Refuge or Wildlife or something like Center or whatever. Sonny Bono was a very famous American singer, married to Cher Bono in the 1960s and 70s, and went into politics. Sadly, was killed in a skiing accident in my reality. But this has been renamed, and this happens quite a bit in the quantum transformations, is places get renamed. They're always popping up with new names, except for your basics. For example, what's meant to be is meant to be. Like Los Angeles is there, San Diego is there. You've got Fresno, you've got Bakersfield, you've got San Jose and San Francisco. Now on the West Coast here, I want to demonstrate something. Let me show you the peninsula San Francisco sits on. Now you see it's dramatically pointed southeast, okay? And it's had a lot of growth, a lot of quantum development. Let me see if I can't take that blue off. Around the peninsula, right? From when I knew it, because it used to be much smoother. Now, just to give you an idea of where it was for me, take this, move it up kind of to the left, and move it up on the map somewhere up here, right? And that's where San Francisco was in time and space. It's 60, 70 miles, maybe more than that from where it was, maybe like 100, who knows, something like that. But we have the San Francisco Bay changing. We've got the California Valley, the San Fernando Valley is just changing dramatically. Let me move this down. I'm sorry, this thing is real fickle, real particular right now. But because our continent is moving east, primarily east, not exclusively, we are literally moving in every possible direction, right? But basically, we're going east, maybe slightly southeast, breaking slightly northeast. But basically, it's east, okay? With, again, every possible movement of direction is in there. Now, you have the central basin of Nevada is in declinations. You have changes to Southern California. You have the split here that's being more and more pronounced. Mexicali is quantum, so is Calexico. They came into existence in around 2017. I watched them pop in. Okay, let me pop these on. That blue out of there again. That's the road. These islands also became larger right here. Well, I think one is like Isla Tiburon, and the other is Isla Angela del Guardia, Island of the Guardian Angel, and they grew, broke off, and inhabited the Gulf there. They became bigger. And there's been a lot of changes to Baja California. The spur has grown on out here. The spur, we got a lot of spurs. We got Orion Spur where we're at now. I don't know, are we in Orion Cygnus now? I don't know. We kind of move around a little bit there. Let me get this one out. We have these problems time to time. Let me go back to the coast here, see if I can't show you the changes. But again, the Gulf of California is widening. The west coast of Mexico is eroding rapidly. Around Zihuatanejo and Acapulco, you have a loss of the coastline there. It's a distinct loss. You have the subaquatic activity, very active. You've got activity up here in the Sierra Madre. You've got activity in the Sonora Desert, around Chihuahua, down south of there. You've got the Yucatan. The Yucatan is becoming smaller and moving further out east, ever so slightly northeast. It's also pushing Cuba off, okay? And this is having a lot of effects, a lot of changes. As you can see, the entire North American west coast is affected. Well, I could say you see, that's what I'm proposing to you, being quantum affected, Mandela affected. This is what I see from my original timeline, and the changes that keep on happening, and the changes that keep on happening daily as movements in time and space keep occurring, and I see them. The Denali area, this used to be Mount McKinley. It was designated Denali. I don't know if anyone can find out what Denali has a specific meaning to. That would be interesting. If there's a given aspect to that name, Denali, because the Denali wave is contributing the moisture that's necessary for the terraforming, as water is a key element to the terraforming aspects. British Columbia is also very much active, very much involved because of all the water that's there. Some tremendous changes in southern British Columbia. There's a couple of places. Let me see if I can't. It started with K's. Well, not Cal. So there's Vancouver, but they had K's in their name, and they both grew. The towns both grew. Both of them are beginning with K's, and they both grew in size. So that's something to look up to as well. Now, Puget Sound is distinctly smaller in this reality. We also have Vancouver Island, British Columbia. The island is distinctly different. It is shaped differently, and it's 90 miles to 100 miles further southeast. It used to be, the very bottom of it used to be right up here. In my reality, Vancouver, British Columbia had smooth sailing or clear sailing out southwest and going in northeast, with about 25 miles, at least 15 miles to 25 miles of deep water between the island and Vancouver, British Columbia, and British Columbia proper. Okay, and it was up here, and it looked like a much faker island then for me. In my reality, it was a much more oval, smooth oval. Here it looks like a more natural island. These little breakouts and stuff like that. It's got some water on it, but the Pacific Northwest has changed. Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia, Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington, down to Eugene, Medford, all these areas right in here have moved a bit east. West, excuse me, have slid further west than they were. They would have been further east, about 15 to maybe 35 miles, as the Willamette Valley that you see here would have been right here. Everything is in transformation right now, including Idaho. We have activity going on with Yellowstone. A lot of activity is around the north because of the water coming into around Yellowstone. We have size changes and distance changes, and our standards are still reporting the same measurements, but I don't trust them because my eyes show me different. We have changes coming out into the Plain States, all the way from North Dakota to Texas, and I can see the all the way coming out to where I am here. I can see where the plates are moving in and coming out from the west, and one state that has had dramatic changes in 2022 has been Nebraska. Every state in the Plain States has changes, but the one that's been affected the most has been Nebraska. But you have changes coming off the Rocky Mountain states as well, and you have the changes that are happening to California with the valley, with the coast, and they're moving over. Our changes are also coming into to Minnesota, into the lakes, into Wisconsin, into Michigan, right? Our Great Lakes are being pushed east, and this is affecting our Ohio Valley, all that kind of thing like that there. Arkansas's got changes. Texas and Oklahoma has changes. The Gulf is in changes. Got more islands, small islands coming up. Florida, you are just a champ in changes because you get so much water around you. You got so much water around you, Florida, and these small changes are going to keep on occurring. There's just going to be so many changes happening to Florida. Yucatan is pushing east and is pushing up into Cuba. We have the Gulf of Mexico track. We have what I call the Honduras track, okay? The Honduras track. And the furthest track out is the Barbados track, okay? And the Barbados track is about here. And this is dramatically affecting South America. And South America has dramatic effects taking place right now, especially the state of Mato Grosso, which is having tremendous effects to it right now. It's drying out as the shape and course of the Amazon is being changed, and the water is being lifted, right? So Mato Grosso is drying out, state of Rondônia. You can see where the apex is hitting Bolivia. This is where that pinch is coming off of the ocean. Also, I want to go back over. I apologize that this isn't got the best clarity, but as you can see, for those of you who are quantum affected in Australia and New Zealand and the rest of the world, we have New Zealand is just drastically going off southeast. New Zealand, her position, you can kind of put it further west than Fiji is demonstrated here now. And Fiji's got some issues as well. Fiji's got some changes, but New Zealand is just drifting. She's headed towards Antarctica. And we have changes, of course, to Australia. We have changes, as you can see, into Indonesia, all the way around here. This is really this continent is broken up a lot more than it was where I was. It was broken up where I was quite a bit, but it's even more so. You have the Marianas Trench coming out. This is active. This is moving, and she's moving deep, and she's having her effects because we're going to have a lot of effects that are happening, right? They're coming off of Antarctica. They're coming off the Central Islands or Channel Islands. These have changed their names a couple of times, Saunders Island and that kind of thing in there. And this has moved up, and we've had changes off of South Africa. We've had changes going into the DNC. We have changes going all the way up into the Congo. We have changes going into Nigeria, right? All the way down to Lagos, right? And Chad. We have the Chad Rift opening up here. And this is going up to what I call Area 42, which is Giza, right? Giza. Giza is active, very active, and so is East Africa. East Africa Rift is opening, and these areas are all opening up right through in here. And we have the Sahara in rapid transformations. Now, the Sahara is in rapid transformations. We have the Mediterranean becoming smaller continuously and constantly. And this is the concern, because from Moscow going down to the Ukraine, into the Black Sea, to Turkey, right, to Istanbul, out into the Straits, into the Aegean, right? this area has become much smaller. For example, Italy that you see here would have been, if this was the prior size of the Mediterranean, which is much larger in my timeline, then Italy would have been like up here where Turkey is right now. Turkey is coming down, the Aegean's coming down. We have Greece is in movements towards North Africa, Crete. And again, you've got the activity with Giza, the Gulf here, and Southern Europe as well. Europe is in action because we have the Geneva wave to contend with. That is basically the Swiss Alps. The elements there, the water, the ice in Geneva, in the Switzerland, is the fuel that is needed for the transformations. And these changes coming up from Antarctica, going east, going right into Saudi. A direct note for Central Saudi right here. Direct note for Central Saudi. Iran and Afghanistan into Central Asia. The Black Sea and the Caspian also mightily changing. Central Asia going up in between Russia and China and Lake Baikal. And great changes, the potential for great changes to the most populated part of the entire Earth, right through here. Okay, so we have a lot to contend with that's coming on. Japan still in movements. Japan moving out in relations to the Marianas Trench and separating. Her islands are still breaking up. Japan used to be a lot more thick and full through in here, and as a matter of fact, her entire coastline. And this island here used to be slanted more that way. A lot of changes. Shanghai continues to move north. Shanghai continues to move north. She has moved north hundreds of miles, and she's still in action. She's still moving. Okay, the actions that are going to come out of Mongolia are high, as Mongolia has a lot of water coming into it right now. And again, there's interesting things with Lake Baikal. We have nothing but more and more to deal with the changes of the Earth. They are very thick. And I don't know why, but just for happenstance, an arrow dropped down. But we have water coming in everywhere, but we have also water declining. Lake Mead is under the stress forces that are separating the Gulf of California, and the water is coming out of there. So continue to watch the west coast of Mexico, the Gulf of California, California Central Valley, San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, further south than it was, the Ed Ford Space Area, San Diego, watch San Francisco, watch the entire west coast of North America, watch the Earth. The Earth, period, is really active. We have some more movements coming in, of course, here in the Caribbean and the Bahamas as we are pivoting over. This is my area that I keep watching move on the Earth and becoming smaller and changing her locations. Okay, thanks for the long listen. I know it's been a long one. If you've got anything to add, please let me know. Comments are always welcome. And please keep a lookout, especially if you can see the changes, the quantum changes that are happening to Earth. Thanks. Texas Danny out. Bye.